A man looked up in the sky and said, "Universe, I exist." And the universe said, "Yeah, so? So there you go, life's a bit ridiculous. We spend our days doing things we don't entirely understand, surrounded by people who are just as confused as we are. And somehow, in the middle of all this, some genius decided that what the internet really needed was people whispering into microphones and tapping on random objects. Thus, the world of ASMR was born. The internet's quietest, weirdest revolution, and oh boy, if aliens ever tuned in, they'd have some questions. If you're not familiar, ASMR stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, or as I like to call it, humanity's quietest cry for help. It's a quiet night you're alone in your room, surrounded by the subtle hum of existential dread. You open up YouTube and watch someone whisper into a microphone, stroking a rubber chicken for your relaxation. Yep, this is where we are now as a species. We've conquered mountains, explored space, and now we find solace in watching strangers crinkle wrappers for 45 minutes. Welcome to the bizarre world of ASMR, where people chase tingles instead of meaning, and soothing sounds come from the strangest of objects. We're finding the weirdest ways to unwind. Sure, some people might go for meditation or a quiet walk in nature, but some are choosing to relax by listening to strangers tap on microphones, crinkle paper, and whisper about nothings that don't actually matter. This, my friends, is the peculiar world of ASMR. Here's the funny part. Our brains are wired to find comfort in this stuff. The tingles you get from ASMR videos are like your brain's way of saying, "Hey, this reminds me of a time when someone actually paid attention to me." It's like a digital hug, only quieter and without the commitment of eye contact. Apparently, our brains are so desperate for soothing sounds that they'll latch onto anything, even if it's someone whispering, "Hello, I'm your pretend friend today." It's weirdly comforting, and yet it makes you wonder, have we really reached the point where the idea of human connection is more comforting than the real thing? Millions of people tune in to watch strangers pop bubble wrap or serve pasta. At this rate, we're one click away from soothing sounds of filing taxes or sleep-inducing paper shuffling. Who knew humanity's greatest stress relief would involve listening to other people mess around with random objects? This entire movement, this unusual communion with the trivial and soundless, is nothing less than a node to the weary soul, a reverie forged by all that has been denied, all that remains unspoken. From the depths of isolation, we reach out to strange comforts, as if the soul, too long choked by the weight of silence and solitude, suddenly stumbles upon a new tranquility, even within the nonsense of plastic taps and ghostly tones. Thus, our fascination grows, our faith revived by this harmless ritual of unyielding peace. Here we are, humanity itself gently cradled by the resonance of nothingness, the mockery of purpose made a soft lullaby. And in this, perhaps lies the finest irony of all, that while each of us wrestles with this depthless solitude within, some find in the tender idleness of strangers a whimsical, quiet communion that speaks more than we dare to ask. So it goes as the cycle of our yearning drifts on, our silent exaltation in a world without answers, our momentary harmony with the absurd. Maybe there's no need for a solution. Perhaps people's fascination with ASMR simply reflects something deeper, something universal in their quiet search for comfort. Viktor Frankl might argue that ASMR, absurd as it seems, gives us a hint of meaning in a world of dissonance. It offers a way to anchor the self in the here and now, no matter how trivial the sounds are. In the end, maybe ASMR isn't solving any grand issues, but it's giving people a break, a pause in the madness. So yes, it's strange and perhaps even ridiculous, but in a world that's constantly demanding too much, maybe our collective obsession with the absurd is simply our way of finally taking a breather. One tap at a time, and who knows, maybe that's as profound a purpose as any. It's ridiculous though.